This is Good Morning Delhi with Chris.
Radio 1.
Okay, well, Chrissy Hine does it like nobody else I know, and that was from The Pretenders. Don't get me wrong. It is 9 minutes past 9. How you doing? Welcome to the show. And it's called Good Morning Delhi. That's because we try to put the good in your morning, and I think most days we succeed, and hopefully today is one of those days. Joining me on the show this morning, I've got Dinesh Agarwal. He's the founder and CEO of IndiaMART.com. A little about IndiaMART. IndiaMART has created a business, is a business enterprise that is the country's largest online B2B marketplace and is regarded among the top 10 in the internet space in India. And Dinesh, for himself, has is credited with leading the company to emerge as the only profitable company during the dot-com bust. And it has sailed fine during the economic turmoils, incidents like 9/11. It managed to tide over all of those days. And of course, we're still going through economic turmoil, aren't we, Dinesh? Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
So, how is it right now? Right now, we're also going through some kind of economic upheaval, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, since the 2008, you can see the whole world is going through a little bit of economic downturn.
And we were bound to feel the repercussions.
Of course, maybe some people said that we are decoupled, but it doesn't happen that way. Mm-hmm. The whole world is so well connected today.
We're completely linked.
Yeah,
exactly.
We are completely linked. Mm-hmm. So it may be coming a little late or a little slow. But now our Indian political system is also not doing very well in the last few years. Mm-hmm. And you can see, there is a policy paralysis, almost kind of a policy paralysis.
Right.
There are issues with respect to Indian growth story. Mm-hmm. We have gone in a less than 5% growth rate in quarters after almost a decade now. So India is a tough time to be in.
But this is where people like you are so instrumental. I mean it. Small SMEs, small medium businesses, enterprises. So tell us about the idea behind creating IndiaMART.
So it all started with when I was in US.
Okay.
I was working there in US as a software engineer.
Okay.
And coming from a very small town, Nanpara, Bahraich, near Nepal border, coming from a traditional business family.
Sure.
Now we tried to find so many times small stuff, and we found that internet was, even in those days, when internet was just about to born, it was so good to find information and so easy to find information. When I came back to India and wanted to start a business, this was a like the thing. Internet has to be the
part of whatever it is. Yeah.
I was so completely sold to internet because I could almost imagine that whole convergence of voice and data and photo is going to happen on the internet.
Sure.
Internet is the future medium.
Right.
Okay. And that's how why chose SME? Because India is a SME-led country. It's such a huge country. The largest population, largest employment is generated by small and medium businesses. India is
largest employment. We're going to come back and talk with Dinesh about the figures and how that stands. And I'm sure you have those stats with you, right?
I do.
Okay, he'll rattle them off his fingertips. So stay tuned for that. We're talking about small to medium enterprises and how IndiaMART.com has had some hand to play in that. Here with me this morning, I've got Dinesh Agarwal, and he's the founder and CEO of IndiaMART.com. That has created a business enterprise that is the country's largest online B2B marketplace and is regarded among the top 10 in the internet space in India. So we were talking about your idea behind creating IndiaMART. And if you could just reiterate, repeat what you told us about IndiaMART. What were you thinking when you came and you thought of IndiaMART?
So I think information here in India itself is very little collated.
Okay.
Most of the yellow page revolution didn't happen here in India.
I know.
And we were to collate all that information.
Yeah, the yellow pages was expiring like every year.
Telephone numbers were changing. Every time. There was too much of a mushrooming growth was happening in small and medium enterprises because India was going through 6, 7, 8% of growth rate.
Right.
So there was a difficulty in finding information, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to collate all the small medium manufacturers, exporters, wholesale providers, retailers, all that information into a online directory, online business directory.
Right.
So IndiaMART became a nationwide online business directory
It must
of
have
exporters.
been a huge mammoth task
Yes,
initially.
it was because we would stand up in front of Pragati Maidan every trade fair that would happen, and we would fill up all the forms of everybody who is coming in.
Right.
We tied up with all the associations, all the export promotion councils to get their information on board.
Sure.
We sent out letters to almost like at least 5 lakh Indian businesses saying that if you want to be registered at IndiaMART, please
But
reply
initially
this.
there must have been resistance, right?
There has been a lot of resistance. Who are they? What they are wanting to do?
Ye internet kya hai?
Internet kya hai? What would internet do?
Right.
But I was pretty convinced that internet is the medium of the future.
Right.
It will someday take over voice and data and communication all. You can already see the print media is actually becoming very expensive to sustain.
Right.
Television and radio are actually converging with internet. You can do a lot of television on internet
Sure,
today.
we do it all the time.
A lot of online radios on today. So internet was the medium of the future, and small and medium enterprises was the future of India.
Sure, yeah.
Because India wanted to become big
And
in the world order.
And you said it, small and medium enterprise is the biggest employer by far.
By far. They today contribute almost like 17% of the GDP for India. So small and medium enterprises, they contribute almost 40% of the industrial output, 45% of the exports.
Wow.
So they are not small numbers.
And we're always looking at the big five, and we're always talking about the big companies. The fact of the matter is, so many of us actually run our homes after being employed with small and medium
enterprises,
right.
because there are 45 million of those small and medium enterprises, and these are our small factories, our small shops, our wholesalers, our exporters, and our day-to-day businesses are being done by small and medium. You don't, work with. I mean, you don't buy from Tatas, or you don't buy
not
from
all the time.
Birlas all the time. There are a lot of value chain that goes on to. So from raw produce all the way to the finish, it is all through the small and medium enterprises.
Okay, coming back some more to talk with Dinesh Agarwal this morning, founder and CEO of IndiaMART.com, and of course we're going to be talking about the services IndiaMART.com provides. So this morning my conversation is with Dinesh Agarwal. He's the founder and CEO IndiaMART.com, and it really is a critical service that they provide to us, where they've got all information on small, medium enterprise manufacturers in one place. 17 years you've been doing that. Do you still find that there's a whole lot of stuff waiting for you when you go back on Monday?
Of course. I think I can start from the very early days when I started this SME advertising on internet. You can imagine India had less than 500 internet connections.
Right.
And they were exporters, and we were getting all the business inquiries from West, where internet has already propagated.
Sure.
So all those inquiries would come to us.
Right.
And we would every day print them and send them by post. So every day internet messages coming on the directory, we'll print them and send them by post, by fax.
Okay.
So every day I will carry this whole bag full of letters.
ये तो नहीं हो रहा है अभी.
ये तो अभी नहीं हो रहा है. So there is lot that has to change. Internet will do a lot of changes to the industry. You can see the mobile phones now coming. Now these mobile phones are the smartphones where internet is very accessible all the time. Now a lot of information would migrate to the mobile screen. A lot of information that you are searching on the computer will migrate to the mobile screen. Another thing would happen very quickly is the video and audio. So unlike the computer, which is still supposedly in India, the English people thing, only English, computer works in English. If you don't know English, it doesn't work. But Idiot Box works in all the language, and the radio works in all the language. I think internet has to start working in all the language. So all the audio, video thing of will not have the language barrier.
Right.
So that it will start to capture the audio and video side of it. And these SMEs, if you talk about these SMEs, they are actually flowing inside the internet river.
Right.
What happens is all the technology that is happening. Earlier, all the technology was being developed for large corporations. So it is Infosys or TCS or those. They will develop software for large corporations. Now, small software is coming on the cloud, software as a service, and that software as a service can be utilized by small and medium enterprises. So the technology has made it simpler for small and medium enterprises to go forward.
Okay, so here's a question. You've seen the internet growth story, and you've seen India's growth story, small and medium enterprise. Has internet affected largely in the growth story of small medium enterprise?
So there has been some some interesting studies done across the world. According to some of the studies, a 40% effect can happen on a small and medium enterprises growth if internet is utilized well.
Right.
Though in India it has had maybe less than 10% impact on them.
Okay.
As of now.
Okay.
But in a country like Germany or in a country like China, they have had a huge impact
because there's so much full utilization.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to come back and talk some more with Dinesh, and we'll talk about some of how policies in India and our country could be favorable with regard to SME development. So I've got with me in the studio Mr. Dinesh Agarwal. He is the founder and CEO of IndiaMART.com. He's been at it for the last 17 years trying to get all the information on SMEs in our country right there on his website. So let's get down really quickly, Dinesh, to what do you wish would happen policy-wise so that our SMEs would get a boost in the country? Because let's face it, SMEs constitute a major portion of industry
and employment.
So we really need to get this going. And everyone is getting so entrepreneurial in nature. Everyone, earlier everyone wanted a government job, but today it's not unheard of for someone to go up to his father and say, "Dad, I want to get out on my own. I think I can do this."
Yeah.
So what do you wish policies would become?
So I interact with lots of hundreds of SMEs day in day out, and most of the time one thread that there are too many things that they keep talking, ye bhi hona chahiye, wo bhi hona chahiye, but I guess one common thread that comes out of them is simplification. Okay. Please allow simplification in the government, less number of forms, less number of returns to be filed, less number of officers to be dealt with, less number of... They are not asking for tax breaks. They are not asking for subsidies.
Right.
They are actually not... they are more bothered about the number of forms to be filled, number of compliances to be made, number of offices to go, number of some 26...
too much bureaucracy
and too much time-consuming bureaucracy.
Right.
So for a small business...
How many man-days must be going just in
that?
Yes,
so there are too many studies about doing business in India, how difficult it is. Out of the 120th place in the world order, we are below even Afghanistan kind of places.
Come on, like really, yeah.
And the second thing that I feel, we have done great in terms of our telecom infrastructure over the last 20 years or so. We are okay even with respect to the transport, our railways, our air Deccan and our airports and all that has done well, even the Golden Quadrilateral road. But we are very bad on the power sector.
Okay.
Even a country like, even a city like Noida, even a city like Thane or Pune, they get like 3 hours, 4 hours power cut. And where I come from, Nanpara district, Bahraich in UP, I have not seen more than 12 hours of electricity in the last 20 years.
That is shameful. I found what you said really interesting. I have all the information on my mobile phone.
Yeah.
But you won't possibly have power to charge the the damn thing.
So it's a very interesting country that
not having enough power is inexcusable. in today's day and age?
So I think these are the my two big wish lists is simplification and power.
Power. Very good. Nice that you've narrowed it down to that. If anyone's listening, maybe they'll even take up one of them. That would be a godsend. All right. Thank you so much. It's been great talking to you. I wish we had more time, but we're really out of it. And I'm playing you a song. So Dinesh used to really dig in to the oldie goldies. And I've got one from Dire Straits. You like the song?
Yeah, money for nothing. That's the way you do it.
Okay, that's the way you do it. Coming right up.
Thank you.
Okay. I've stayed